Okay, there you go. Shit. Took a while. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure everything is good. Hold on. What if... Oh, it doesn't work. God damn it, the reverb doesn't work. Hip. Alright, I guess this is a good opportunity to show my face. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Is something shameful being shown? I don't think so. My room is a mess. Alright, hey, oh, there's double. No double. That's enough. Shut the fuck up. Oh, I want to check the Steam Deck though, man. Everyone's talking about it. Right on time, Leo. Hey, Control Crazy, man. I haven't seen you in a while as well. How you doing, man? How both of you doing? Let me just look at this shit. I want to do one specific video now. Like the recommended looks good when I don't want it to look good. Poquito, I haven't like I was. Don't take this the wrong way. It was just mere coincidence. But I was in the shower and I was like, you know what? That's someone I haven't seen in a while. Poquito hasn't been on a streamer for a while, but I understand, man. I like Linko64. I was like, you know, that streamer that I like to play with. I was playing squad. I just met him in a server. I was like, he was like silver. I was like, oh shit. I kind of forgot. You know, it's just, you know, we get busy. I guess that's fine. So Leo Control Crazy. Goddamn, man. Poquito Control Crazy. Aren't you supposed to be in schools, guys? No, you choose me over school. That's the right decision, right? Hey man, you gotta take it on sometimes on what you call cruise control. So yeah, I understand that. I recommend you look at Void's diss track. Who the fuck is Void's? Is that a person even? Hey, I'm doing fine, Leo. Thank you so much, man. It's. I mean, tomorrow this shit is happening. Okay. Oh, wait, actually, we have a countdown here from Moore's Mutual Insurance. Finally, Moore's Mutual Insurance being useful, right? Huh? Is this copyright? I don't know. Goddamn it, I'm excited. 18 hours. I don't know if it's gonna be straight, but I'm gonna rely on this stream. On this countdown. So if you want to follow this countdown from Moore's Mutual Insurance, because that's most likely what I'm gonna be streaming. I don't know. I never really like Rockstar sometimes delays by 30 minutes or whatever the fuck the launch. So we might not just. I have bad experience with you know, Battlefield 2042, where it was like, oh, release. Now you actually gotta wait 1 hour or something. Nah. Summer holidays. Ah, fuck, I forgot. Yeah, I am dying of heat, and I didn't remember that shit. Summer break. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I was gonna install an AC this weekend, man, but I ended up not doing that shit. So I'm gonna be dying here. I have a fan that kind of does something. I mean, I may have done that before because your streams are educational, man. That's what I'm trying to do here, man. I don't know if it's boring for you guys, but I was like interested in this Ab and Preach video, man. I was like, because listen, man, I understand sometimes the things that you say might not matter all days, but you just gotta toss videos out there, right? You gotta just toss streams, otherwise how do you know what people want? But I saw this video, I was like, yeah, this seems like interesting, and I'm Gen Z, so why not? Why not?
Today's
okay,
topic.
Hey, whoa, Abbo, chill out. Also, please check my volume if I'm too loud here with the video, but I don't want it to be too loud. Also, I'm not putting any music, I'm sorry, but I will do that in the video. So stay here as a bonus, you will appear in the video in the chat. I love that I have I Swallow come as all this present in the screen, that's pretty cool. But hey, Poquito is still taking that 27-pound shit. Actually, $27, which was 20 pounds, I think. Yeah, man, like they realize it'd be successful because people already do this with vanilla GTA. So maybe let's do a DLC. And that was this shit. I'm sorry if I will get to the point of the video. Hold on. But that was also this shit here. What the fuck was it? I think GTA Wise Guy. No, yes, GTA Wise Guy. Tuners. I think it was him. Tuners and Outlaws. I think they based themselves. This was 4 years ago, right? I mean, Rockstar always does this shit. They see like some sort of fake DLC and they go like, you know what, that's maybe a good idea because the players want this shit. Oh, this is copyrighted. See, like this, yeah, even though those cars look better than the fucking DLC ones. But hey, you know what? Fuck it. We're finally having it, man. It looks really, really cool. The stream is replaying itself again. Really? Oh my god. We're good again. I'm sorry. Of course we have to have that. I'm sorry. If you, in case you didn't see it, I'm sorry. GTA Wise Guy 4 years ago. I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but he predicted this shit. I mean, predicted. They stole the idea, Rockstar. But I mean, fuck it. As long as you bring it to the game. Look at this shit, right? We already had this 4 years ago. We already had this idea. So it was only a matter of time, I guess. But hey, good on Rockstar, man. I have high hopes for it. As long as they don't blow it. We should be good. So, that's what I didn't miss the lag, man. Like, fucking hell. I gotta move countries for this shit. I don't know. Get another gift card. Well, like, Poquito, chill out. Right? Relax. Or even if you are gonna do that, alright? Save that money and do it along the way. Right? Just, you always blow up this shit. God damn it, man. You must be rich. But I appreciate it, obviously. But don't worry about it, right? I can live poor. Something that I'm used to. Here I am saying this while I'm planning to install an AC. Yeah, well, it's not personally me who's rich, I guess. Oh, thank you so much, Poke. That feels nice to hear, though. Just the words, you know? What happened over the last 3 minutes, Mike? Whoa, 3 minutes? That's a little bit... I don't think that's 3 minutes. That's the thing, it doesn't pop here that I had an issue, but I noticed the 0 count. I don't know. Listen, doesn't matter, really, what I said. This is important shit right here. I'm excited for the DLC, GTA 5 DLC, in case you don't know. There's gonna be a DLC. Tuners. There's already a trailer. Can we watch? The trailer has copyrighted music. So it's just because of it's 30 seconds. I already watched this. This seems like a cool idea. They're gonna have like underground places and car meets and shit. Look at this. Looks interesting, man. It's a camber. Yeah, I'm a car guy, so bring it fucking on, man. Yo, Monchi, how you doing? This is gonna, like, the cars don't look any good, but I mean, I already have cars. I already have Audis and, you know, I love the Supra version, which is, what the fuck is a car? Jester, right? So, we good. I don't need any more of that shit. I'm not interested in the cars. I don't know who the fuck this is. It's supposed to be a cameo. Don't know who this is. If you know it, please let me know. But it seems pretty fucking interesting. I'll be honest, man. This is what I already have. People thought this was a new emote. No, we already had that shit. Yeah, man, like, what can you say? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be tomorrow, again. Base yourself on Moore's Mutual insurance for the stream of the countdown and shit, and you should be good. That's what I'm gonna stream. But I need to run Rust properly first, so fucking well, Rust is something that I would like to get into, man, but at this point you're gonna get crapped on by everyone in the server. Ludicrous. No, it's not ludicrous. Fuck off, man. That is not ludicrous. That's not ludicrous, man. I don't know, man. Ludicrous has that kind of face that always changes, you know? It might. They should have brought family, man. Like, has Vin Diesel to do this shit. Oh, is that? No, that's not ludicrous. The song is like, oof.
Faces. Don't even worry. One of them faces. Don't even worry.
Familiar. I know you from somewhere.
I just got one of them faces. Don't even worry about it.
Wait, is that the voice actually does seem like it? No, it's ludicrous, man. Let me find if someone... No, I don't think anyone typed... If it was ludicrous, people would be spamming the shit out of it. I don't think it's ludicrous, is it? I have 8 million, man. I'm ready to spend some money, man. If there's a DLC I want to spend money on, is this one. The RX-7 does look cool. Yeah, like, do you like Rockstar went self-aware? I'm sorry if I'm spending time here, but god damn it, I will give me 5 minutes. I'll continue with the thing that I want to do. But look at this shit. Like they are self-aware that this is what people want, and the weaponized shit and all that. Look at this. So What does it say? Okay, so making a great place, which is a car meet thing. Making a great place to skip the intention of the law and any small-time chumps looking to terrorize the citizens of Greater Los Santos. Yes, that's who you created. So, what is it? Park your attitude and your weaponized vehicles. They know, like, people are tired of that shit. So they are becoming self-conscious, I guess. Black Panther said, oh, he said it. I mean, Black Panther is like, with the information, I don't want to rely on it. I know I'm really late, but I need a summary of the Carson drama. I want to have window open, but the dogs are bothering you, isn't it? Let me know. I'm gonna create a poll for that. Are the dogs bothering you? I mean, there's a reality in my street. What do you want me to do? But yeah, the Carson drama, honestly, unless it got updated, it should be the same thing. So there's an 2 months ago. Yeah, I mean the thing that would call me Carson, I gotta do that. The thing that we know so far is that he's coming back. Oh, but if you want the old shit, okay, let me just do this video and I'll explain it to you. Wakanda forever. See, I even nailed the accent right there. Alright, so let's just do this video. Keep shooting the questions, don't worry. I'll answer it any time, but I'm gonna leave it not full screen.
Today's topic.
So, for those who don't know, I'm not gonna use Jubilee's video, not because I'm protesting, not giving them a view or whatever the fuck. It's just, I think it's a good video, actually. It's not a bad thing that they are doing here. But I love to watch these two, man. Like, I'm sorry if I'm reacting to reactions, but I love this guy. I love these guys.
Today's topic.
So, do all Gen Z think the same? And there's a few comments I would like to read and shit and discuss, but I'm gonna do that in the end.
I've sent or received nudes.
Straight off the fucking gate. I'm gonna have to go. I mean, why did you put or, man? This would be a funny, fun opportunity for you to be like, okay, who has sent in? All right, what's your Instagram? Something like that. But yeah, I guess.
Do I have to answer this?
You see what I mean?
About to go haram.
Oh, you knew it! That's exactly the word that was in my head.
Yeah, of course the Muslim girls are gonna get all this shit for saying like, do I need to answer that?
You didn't just exact word, you went, haram! Hey. Because she said, do I have to answer this?
Yeah.
The laugh is...
I mean,
I feel like it's a little bit too loud, is it?
Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. أنت حيوان.
There you go in, nigga.
خلاص.
Go ahead, nigga.
أنشي من عينك. That was some more.
If one day I want to get a certain job or go into a political office, I just don't ever want to have somebody to hold that against me. Even when people send me nudes, I'm like, I didn't necessarily need that.
Did you see that sneaky move? Hold on. Did you see that sneaky move?
Even when people send me nudes, political office, I just don't ever want to have somebody to hold that against me. Even when people send me nudes, I'm like, I didn't necessarily need that. Like, pics when they're just, you know?
Are we saying nudes?
Nudes. Should we
Oh my
start
god,
over?
I thought we were saying news. N-E-W-S.
Nudes.
I'm so
Focus, girl.
sorry. I don't send nudes because I just do things on social media. I want to pursue acting.
These guys are
I feel like my
I
body's
love
a temple. You gotta pay to see it, if at least.
Hold on a sec. Hold on, let's replay that.
Acting. I don't send N-E-W-S. I'm so sorry. I don't send nudes because I just do things on social media. I want to pursue acting. I feel like my body's a temple. You gotta pay to see it, if at least.
So hold on a second. Your body's a temple, but you gotta pay to see. What kind of fucking temple is this? Is this Scientology or something? Like what? She's going with the conservative thing, like, it's my body, I would never do that. But I mean, if Poquito brings me those 50 pounds, I mean, what can I do? What can I do? That doesn't make any sense, girl.
That's a zoomer.
Yeah.
A zoomer. If you don't know what a zoomer is, it's
Hey, look, how you doing, man?
a Gen Z acting like a boomer. That's a zoomer.
I like it. She's like, I have self-respect. I want to have a career, so I wouldn't post nudes. But if you pay,
No, I wouldn't post that on the internet. I wouldn't do that. You know, I
Yeah,
got
don't do it
things
for
to
free.
do, and I want people to have it. Would you want money for it? Maybe.
Come back.
I hope so.
you love that Kodak Black. It's one of my favorites.
I love
It's a
it.
great
You
moment.
want money for it? I hope so.
The funny thing is you can't see his face under the mask, but you know.
Revenge porn is very real, and I think most women or women-adjacent people have received unsolicited pics.
As like a bisexual person and kind of just being in like a world that's hyper-sexualized already, and it sucks because that's kind of like
Hey, I'm sorry. Semi-bald, all right? Respect that I didn't shave today, man. I fucking have I think I had a... I don't know, man. I cut myself pretty bad here because I had some sort of like pimple, I guess. Shit, man. Today I'm taking a skip day for that. But how you doing, man?
like the age of social media and like LGBTQ youth is that pretty much like they have to seek valid.
Right now it's not so interesting, but there will be some points in the middle that are pretty interesting.
Online, that's like really like the way to do it.
I agree exactly with what Makai said. I mean, it is like the form of validation now. Like sending nudes is love, but which
This
hurts,
makes me just
so
want to.
yeah.
This makes me just want to jump over it because I feel like I'm in the wrong area. You know.
This is something I noticed. The question was, do you send or receive nudes? It's not like if you agree with that, like with that sentiment. That was the question. Like right now, 2 out of those people, like 2 out of wait, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of 6 people, 2 out of 6 people, right? That's like 2/6. They didn't pay any fucking attention. This is the first fucking question. This doesn't leave like a good impression. And here's the thing, all right? I want to have conclusions, but let me just say straight up that this generation is not worse than any other, right? But there is different problems. There's no more problems, but there is different problems. And again, I'll summarize in the end because the comments kind of argue about that, and it's interesting. But let's get this out of the way. Right now, like a focus, absolutely something Gen Z. We, like, even when I'm making videos, man, I need to keep that shit like 10 minutes or something. Otherwise, people are like just like switching off. They don't care about the video. Hell, most likely if I'm making a video about this, I'm going to create chapters. Even though I do like chapters, I think anyone appreciates where to skip. Will you stream Los Santos tuners? Absolutely. Tomorrow, again, base yourself on Moore's Mutual Insurance. Countdown, most likely will stream then. I'm assuming that that's, you know, when he the release for Red Dead Online DLC was like 30 minutes delayed or something from the usual, so I don't know. Red Dead Walmart version, absolutely. I'm actually watching things mad, I guess.
No, we're gonna go here.
Guys, this is not whether or not you agree or disagree with nudes. The question
There
is,
you go, yeah.
have you sent them? How can you say, yes, I have, and then be like, well, based off your opinion, I feel like I should... What?
When there's nothing to have an opinion about. This is like what the Gen Z does. Like, one thing, it's cool to change opinions, but you don't have to, you got to be consistent and defend your ground at some point and be like, no, this is what I believe and this is the thought in it. And if you have a discussion about something that can be discussable, then that's fine. This is a judgment of fact. Do you receive or send nudes? That's pretty much a simple question.
Am I crazy?
Yes.
Why?
Appreciate it, Monchi, and for the, you know, keeping notifications. Absolutely. I never say the bell thing, but I don't know, man. As long as people watch my videos, I'm fine. Kept this in my See Later playlist for like 10 months now. What? My stream? Oh, shit.
No. Z.
Oh, you mean that video? Hold on a second.
No.
Like, they should respect your values if you don't want to send nudes, and if not, like, it's pretty clear to me that they're just using me for my body. Nudes has a lot to do with appearance, and putting a lot of value on how you appear can just sometimes be damaging.
To piggyback off that, it's really important too, like when you're growing up, no matter like your body type or how you look, everyone has like beauty in them.
And that's exactly it. That's exactly what it is. Have you sent nudes?
Yeah, I don't think we need to keep hammering
But you
this.
should send nudes. This is the minute. That's not, yo. But we've all done a mistake. Yeah, that's not the question. That's not the question. Have you?
Which voice?
You know what I also appreciate about this? This is very representative. They got a Muslim girl, a gay dude, bisexual dude.
Oh, they went with a
some whites in the back.
with a mix.
White trash.
It's important to love your body and love like how you look because like girl, that's your body. Like flaunt what you got, boo. That validation needs to come from within, not from.
Here's the thing. I will say this. I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but not everyone is beautiful. Period. This is something that you have to accept, and this is another issue. Again, I would like to discuss in the end, but I guess I'm not going to discuss now. Okay. Generation Z has a tradition, or even the older generations do this to Generation Z kids, which is you're special. Everyone's fucking special. Even though special means that someone is better than, or I mean, has something that is not usually common. And you're not born special. No kid is born special. No kid is special, but they become special. At some point, they have the potentiality to become special, right? But they have to develop that fucking value. No one is born special, right? Not everyone is born beautiful. Some people have it good once they are born, even though beauty does fade away, right? But there are ugly people, right? And there's people who are not so attractive like me. And there's misconstruction. Like a lot of people think that self-esteem means that you look into the mirror and you go like, I'm sexy. Even though in the back of your mind, you know that's not true. Self-esteem or good self-esteem is looking at the mirror and be like, okay, I'm ugly as shit. But you know what? I'm kind of funny, right? If I want to go for a girl, shit, something that can change is my body. So maybe let's go to the gym, hit the gym at least 3 times a week or something like that. That's self-esteem. That's you recognizing who the fuck you are, not like lying to yourself until you believe it. And here's the reality. Yes, you can be beautiful to someone else, right? Even though you're not beautiful universally. But universally speaking, objectively speaking, there are people who are not beautiful, period. Is the end of the world? Is that having bad self-esteem? It's not. It's about you understanding the reality and be like, you know what? I don't have that, but I do have this. So no, not everyone. And this idea of like, it's like the participation trophies. Like every kid did well. No, not every kid is good at everything, right? Some kids are dumb as rocks, but they can, with the intelligence they have, develop something that they like. For example, some things that don't need a lot of brains, but they do need dedication, and those people have it. Good, go for it, right? You can train few things. I guess intelligence is something that you can develop, of course. But listen, not everyone is special. Yes, I'm very ugly, man. Like, listen, that's absolutely fine to recognize. Like, people need to recognize the same way that I'm tall or I could be short. None of those are negative. Being ugly is not really a negative. Maybe, I mean, there's women who have a thing for ugly men, I guess. Right? I've seen that shit in some podcasts. Women who think that, if they go for an attractive guy, there's a high chance, even though that's kind of stupid, but they have a high chance of getting cheated on. Don't think that's a reality, but whatever. Right? There's things like that. But the reality is, universally, not everyone is beautiful. Otherwise, the word beautiful doesn't exist anymore. If everyone is beautiful, then that's the norm. There's nothing on the opposite. The reason why we have good is because we have evil. There's always a contrast. How many members do you have on Discord? I don't even know, man. Can someone check it up? Always told me I'm the most special person. Listen, to your mother... that's where the relative thing happens, right? Most likely she is telling the truth, because for her, like, not everyone is her son. You are her son, right? You are special, and that's the thing. Relative, like, and that's why I didn't criticize the guy before, because he was saying like everyone has beauty in them. Sure, I do agree with that, because it can be relative, but not everyone is beautiful in a way like universally speaking. There's women who will sell bikinis better than others, right? That's how it goes. But just because something sounds cruel or the reality is not what you like doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, right? I mean, I'm going to use a very far-fetched analogy, but think of it like this. A lion eating a deer, right? It's not, or actually a zebra or whatever. It's not the prettiest of sights. You ever imagine that, like, getting eaten alive? Like, the lion doesn't make sure that the thing is dead before he eats the thing. It's cruel. Nature is very cruel. Like, imagine getting your belly ripped off, and we're still alive. The pain that you must suffer. But no one criticizes the tiger for that, or the lion, or whatever, because that's nature. And nature makes some people ugly. But it's not like with today's society. You can become smart, you can become funny, whatever the fuck. you can become something else and have value there. Everyone is not perfect, but don't push yourself to make yourself beautiful. Yeah, I guess in a certain way that's what I'm saying, you know? Everyone has their flaws. You know, beautiful people can be dumb as rocks, right? But in the end of the day, don't elude yourself. Don't think that you have to become something to be attractive. Like, being attractive is actually a very broad aspect. You can be attractive and be ugly as shit. Attractive in the situation of maybe like as a personality. The problem for men is that you can't put makeup because it's for girls. So if you're ugly, you're ugly forever. One thing that we do have, but it doesn't help a lot, I guess, is beard, right? You can hide the double chin with a beard. That's about it, yeah. And that's something that if you let yourself go, it happens naturally. So it's not something that looks good, like, unless you take care of your beard. A lot of people think that having a big beard means no problems. Like, no, you need oil and shit like that. But for girls, they can just put on makeup and be beautiful. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, like, I've seen really crazy shit. Like, even men who turn, like, almost like women just with makeup itself. So, yeah, it can do crazy shit. That kind of lowers my trust issue, my creates trust issues with me, but in society. But anyways, I'm sorry for the barking. I gotta stop. I gotta close this. It doesn't work. I'll keep the fan turned on, but I mean, I have to close that shit. Dogs are just annoying in the street, man. I've never seen a street, but hey, at least we don't have a lot of cars passing by, so. I don't live in New York.
From other people, because like I know I'm sexy. I don't even know if me I'm sexy. So, period poo. Is that going in?
See, like, he got a feeling that he's becoming arrogant. Like, he sounds arrogant. Yeah, that's the truth. You don't need to look in the mirror and be like, I am sexy. Like, no, just, like, you know what? I don't have a lot of those things. But someone could find me sexy. Now, that is the absolute thing that can happen.
Skinny jeans are out of style.
Yes. Even though I did like them, but they're not comfortable.
3, 2,
Yeah, the person has rude.
1, go.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just the era of the time. It was like rock was like, you know, pop rock, lots of skinny jeans, and then it turned into like ripped jeans. And I think pants are getting bigger. I don't know if it's because like maybe we're shifting more towards like androgyny. I'm over here because I think that skinny jeans, I don't like them and I wouldn't wear them because I also have like chicken legs, so like that's not happening for me.
Wait, is it out of style or in style?
Girl, you need to listen.
Bro. Now this, like, okay, point number one against Gen Z. We don't pay fucking attention, man. The attention span is so small. Like I said with my videos, man, it's just like, you gotta pay fucking attention.
Girl,
Stay focused.
yes, okay? Gen Z, everyone says you guys can't focus. You're not helping.
They are in style?
Yeah, skinny jeans.
Oh, no, they're out of style.
God damn, bro. Like 3 people already, or 4 even. Like, pay fucking attention. Like, I'm a guy that doesn't pay a lot of attention to what other people say, but at least when I'm like, if I'm assuming they're getting paid, I can pay attention when I'm getting paid. You know, like in a situation where there's cameras and shit, and that's the only thing that I have to do, like listen to one fucking line at a time. Pay a little bit of attention. Goddamn. If you see if you're ugly or not funny, you're fucked, yeah. I mean, again, you could have some other things. And you could find a girl that has a kink for ugly people, I don't know. But it really depends. Like, funny, for example, something that you can develop, I guess. A sense of humor. So I don't think you're that fucked. If it's something like visually ugly, I don't think you can change unless you go for plastic surgeries, which I'm not recommending. But, you know.
This girl, and then the guy's gonna be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna scoop over there.
Yeah, like, Gen Z is basically this, right? Today we're here, tomorrow we're gonna be in the left. But, you know, after tomorrow, you know what? I'm gonna be in the middle. After tomorrow, I'm not even sure if I know anything about the fucking subject. You know, like, we are so fluid when it comes to opinions. That is absolutely annoying. That is something that I'll have to say, like, again, all generations suck in a way, but this is our sucky part. We don't pay any attention. God damn, dude.
Cause I'm sexy.
Yo, the amount of group thing going on right now, it's like pretty.
Yeah, the group mentality, the herd mentality, yeah. That's basically us. This fan's kind of annoying me, but it's the only thing that keeps me alive, honestly, right now.
Crazy.
I recently bought my like first pair of like baggier jeans, kind of like what he's wearing, and I was like blown away, honestly. Like there's so much space. You don't have to worry about it like bunching up and stuff. Like yeah, I don't know why we ever stuck with skinny jeans to begin with.
I think the whole skinny jeans side part thing is generational politics that are trying to like distract us from what we actually disagree about. Like,
Okay, first and foremost, it's very funny who's talking here, man. Like, oh, you're talking about distractions? You're keen of it. Like, you're very keen on it. And secondly, is this girl seriously bringing skinny jeans as a political? Did I understand that right? Oh, maybe I'm being unjust here.
generational politics that are, I think the whole skinny jeans side part thing is generational politics that are trying to like distract us from what we actually disagree about. Like nobody actually cares about the skinny jeans and middle parts. Like millennials.
Girl.
It's a question. Like right now, it is a trivial thing, but that's the point. What did she? She really just brought politics into the like this fucking thing. What?
They trying to distract you. You don't need no help to get distracted.
Basically, yeah.
You can't answer. You can't understand a simple question. Girl, no.
Is this really a talking point?
Yeah, like what I mean, the skinny jeans. I don't know, man. Like Jubilee, kind of like what do you want to know? If we think the same about fashion, I guess. But I mean, what is this about? Like politics, like distracting us? Like no, what is it? Was it a plot or something? I don't understand. The confidence of skinny jeans are low. Yeah, if you have chicken legs. Like at some point when I was playing basketball, I trusted skinny jeans because I didn't look bad. But now, no.
Took all the points of the Gen Z. Remember what they did with black? You know how they did that?
I'm not on social media after. Are they really talking about skinny jeans that deep?
Do we really like chicken? Watermelon? Is Kanye West invited to the cookout? Remember how they did us dirty? It's the same thing, but with them. Okay. So it's not a talking point. How are you surprised?
I get my news from YouTube.
This will be my exception here, all right? I kind of have to rely on news on YouTube. You know, even if they're false, they're news to me because, hey guys, look at this. This is wrong, right? I guess I would be an exception because I have to rely on YouTube for this bullshit. So I would go for the agree, but I would still agree. Not when it comes to my country, to be honest, right? I don't follow any my country's YouTube news or whatever. But I mean, who are you gonna trust? Like even on the American side, who are you gonna trust? Who are you gonna say like, oh, I watch from TV like a normal person or as anyone should? Really, you're gonna watch Fox News, CNN? Because it's fine if people look at both, but they don't do that shit. They either follow CNN or Fox News. So is it really that bad? At least with YouTube, you can select the medium, like you can select the circle, right? But I understand there's like the quartering that kind of has a lot of like, he's not always wrong, but there's a lot of fake shit that he also releases, or at the very least, not so well investigated, but sometimes he also gets attacked for something that is actually true. There's all this kind of thing. It will never be perfect, but I mean, it's not really much of a problem to search that on YouTube. I get my news from TV. Again, my country, yes, the same. You know, with my like the rules because of COVID and shit like that, I check them out on TV. But YouTube is not really a bad medium for that, honestly. Again, you still also have CNN and Fox News on fucking YouTube, so.
3, 2.
As long as I add money. But I would go for the agree because I gotta do that.
And then the Asian girl's gonna be like, news or nudes? Yoga I get from YouTube. What are you talking about?
I'll give you that one.
I just somewhat disagree because I try not to just, stay on YouTube because it can be a lot of disinformation, but I also...
But I go to BuzzFeed. I don't check the 10 articles. Like, even the mere fact that you type BuzzFeed on your search bar, it already gets contaminated by misinformation. So, what you mean? I mean, YouTube is not that bad. I'm not going to defend it like with every... I guess confidence, right? With every possible bit of confidence, but it's not that bad, right? But I guess the question was to see if Gen Z is like, does it even follow TV? I don't think we do. So if they do, I'm not gonna believe it too much.
feel like, you know, I follow a lot of political YouTubers and I feel like their perspectives are different than what's on the mainstream because like 3 corporations own all of the media.
Exactly. So if you have that opinion, why the fuck did you go there? I don't understand.
Social are, but I also feel like, you know, I follow a lot of political YouTubers, be a lot of disinformation, but I also feel like, you know, I follow a lot of political YouTubers and I feel like their perspectives are different than what's on the mainstream because like 3 corporations own all of the media. So
Oh, okay. So she went for the somewhat disagree. All right. So she disagrees, but she understands that side. Okay. Yeah, I would say the same thing. At least you have people who will. There's different circles. You know, it's not like just these rich corporations who are driven by money telling you what's happening, right? Because we see that shit a lot. Getting news from YouTube or the internet is in general is bad here with all the conspiracy going on the Netherlands. Yeah, I guess that would be a local thing. Portugal, I would not rely on that shit either, man. But that's the thing, is because the older generations, which we are going to talk about it later, right? I'm going to hold my discussion point here, but information or misinformation is one of those things that you're going to see that actually hits the Gen Z, but I think it even hits harder older generations because they don't even know how to handle that misinformation. There's so much, yeah, in every society, and myself get confused every time. Yeah, that's true. Like, even if you do know what to search and where to search, you can just get like bamboozled, let's say, pretty fast.
Social news,
and pretty
Twitter,
easy.
100% easily. But like if it's like some political stuff, I have like.
Wait, what'd you say?
Social news, Twitter, 100% easily. But like.
But Twitter for social news? Are you serious?
If it's like some political stuff, I have like subscriptions to like New York Times, even Fox and stuff, just so that I get a perspective from everyone. And I tend to go ahead and like focus more on like the journalism stuff. And YouTube is like the headlines, but I don't click the video and like deliberately watch it until I've known the facts.
The ability of Twitter to get, you know, opinions out there from people who aren't political pundits is really valuable. And, you know, when big things happen, Twitter usually hears about it first.
I feel like it kind of just comes down to like a media literacy thing, and it's something that like.
Problem is, I guess it goes to the same point on YouTube. I guess like the people who, but I mean, at what point is that a valuable thing, right? Sure, having the opinion of the little man is important, but maybe the little man has little information. It's a minefield. So.
Like our generation and further generations are gonna have to face. We haven't been in this era where there's like what Sarah was saying about like the democratized way of social media where like everyone can say information. We're like in this new era where we pretty much have to learn how to decipher which is valuable and valid information and what's not. And like as social media continues to grow, I feel like it's just gonna keep becoming more literate.
And I feel like we should be taught this in schools. We're in a whole new era. Like we grew up with like tablets and laptops, whereas in like previous generations didn't, which allows us obviously to have more diverse opinions, but I think that should be taught in school as well.
Do your guys' parents ever just call you and be like, did you know this happened? And you're like, yeah, it happened like 5 hours ago. And you're like, did you just find out now?
It's usually fake news with my mom.
Oh my gosh.
It's usually fake news.
Not specifically with my mom or even my parents in general. My mom has Facebook, but she doesn't go really for the news kind of shit. But I see a lot, and here's why I guess we should discuss this, okay? When it comes to misinformation, I cannot even pin this on Generation Z, right? Because it's usually like, when it comes to misinformation, who usually believes on, like, what's the Facebook demographic on the groups of anti-vaxxers or flat earthers, right? It's never the 10, 20, 20, 30. This is kind of the point I wanted to touch on one of the comments here is that, you know, let me search it. Wait, why is these comments different than my fucking mobile version? Okay, but basically what I believe is that this generation has a lot of expectation. We're put on a pedestal, right? So kids that are 12 years old, or let's even go 9, they're supposed to know shit that they're not supposed to know at their age, or previous generations didn't have that pressure, right? And today, if a kid fucks up, back in the day, let's imagine that, you know, some kid would eat some detergent in the 1950s. That would be local news. Maybe the neighborhood would hear that this kid ate some fucking detergent. But the titpots kind of thing happened on what? TikTok or whatever the fuck was this challenge that people recorded. So if a kid somehow fucks up today, or is very dumb, like acts very dumb in front of a camera, some kid in China will see that shit and do the same. Some kid in Europe will see that shit and do the same, right? So it's not that we are dumber or we are worse. We are just like, our generation is all prone to these challenges. It's just because now if you fuck up, you're going to be on the internet. There's always going to be a camera pointing at you. I mean, I've been pointing one deliberately at me, like intentionally at me. But there's also a lot of situations where people pull up their phones, like maybe you're in Victoria's Secret, right? And you just feel like taking a nap on the floor, right? And there's a woman recording you. How dare she? And you start throwing a tantrum. Would you look at that? That woman is not Gen Z, right? If you, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, is that Karen on Victoria's Secret, right? Today, if you fuck up, it's pretty much well known to everyone in the world. But another thing is that, again, kids need to learn shit that back in the day they didn't need to learn any of that stuff, right? Or, for example, when we had that girl that was trying to teach LGBTQ stuff, not even rights, we're talking about just LGBTQ sensitive topics with 5-year-olds on YouTube. Like, no. Right now, people want kids to become, like, back in the day, you would become an adult kid, let's say like that, when you started working at 13 or something like that. Today is because now you need to be inserted in all these conversations about politics or whatever the fuck. And that's very weird, right? 13-year-olds, or even, like, let's go for 10-year-olds with iPhones and shit like that, and they already have, like, accounts on every possible social media. That confuses me a lot. But that is something that the older generation allowed to happen. It's not really the kids that are like, oh, I have the money for an iPhone. It's the parents who were like, fucking stop pissing me off. I'm trying to watch NBA. Here's a phone. Go do your thing, right? That's not on our generation, really. So that's pretty much it when it comes to, and again, the misinformation doesn't really apply only to the Gen Z. In fact, the flat earther, for example, if we have adults who believe that the earth is flat, 40s, 50s and shit like that, older generations. Imagine kids with no social aptitude or any kind of knowledge about anything. If adults believe in misinformation, imagine fucking kids like 10 years old with iPhones. They'll believe anything, right? So it's not really the generation that is a problem, is how technology kind of made stupidity a bigger possibility. I'm 13, oh, hold on a second. I'm 13 years old. And every time in my YouTube recommendation gets a Gen Z news, videos, etc., which is confusing for me, but if I can understand word by word correctly, then I may know what the hell is going on. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that I'm talking about. Like, you follow, you have no life experience, so you will follow anything that appears on social media. And again, people think like, oh, this is Gen Z being stupid. No, it's Gen Z being kids. And kids are very like prone to believe what they read. But again, adults, this shit happens with adults. So is it really a bad point for Gen Z, or just a bad point about technology in today's day and age? Gotta turn on airplane mode. So see you next time. Hey Lucas, see you next time. Thank you for popping by. How long will it be streaming, by the way? I don't even know. No, I don't want to do too much because I still have to edit at least this segment here.
I'm up.
I will agree with her on that. Parents are super susceptible to fake articles. You know what? People in general, people constantly send us like onion articles. But could you believe that a man ran into a tent, showed his penis, which was attached to an elephant's head, and then ran out and said, "I as well." Like, I don't know. It's like, bro, did you read the source? Did you read any of the articles? Did you?
And again, if this happens with adults, imagine kids. It's not that the generation is dumber. It's because it's literally the same. The kids are as smart as they used to be before, but now there's so much misinformation that it looks that way. And again, internet kind of allows it to be like, look at this kid doing something stupid, and there will be nothing that can possibly erase that. You'll be on the internet forever.
Look at no. So people are just very susceptible to not doing any form of, like, even, I'm not saying you got to know everything, but people won't even do a simple Google search to see, like, are there any other news sources that covered this? You know? I mean, you have to have this conversation all the time.
And sometimes
you read a headline from me, I'm like, have you checked with other sources?
Yeah.
Always.
But that's the first thing that we cannot go, because we can't go out there and spray and spread, shit. We're gonna get
See you,
caught
Luca.
on.
Yeah.
She gets news from Facebook.
Same,
Literally, she
same,
calls me. She's
same,
like, "Did you
yeah.
hear about this?" Like, "Mom, that's right." And she's like, "It is."
Yeah.
Like my mom, when she was on Instagram, she just was like, she was seeing the wrong stuff. And then she was like, the vaccine, those microchips. And I was like, Mom.
I think it's also important to think about like why people believe that. Like, yeah, it's like stupid and it's funny to make fun of, but like people are afraid of like, really rich people who are going to be like controlling a lot of stuff without, democratic elections and without any accountability. And it makes sense that people would feel like, I don't really know if I can trust the government.
Yeah, so basically fear kind of rules when there's ignorance. That's kind of natural. Can I ask what is common sense? Would the definition of common sense is information that is to be perceived correct by everyone else, or at the very least something that is well known, like a table is where you eat. That's kind of common sense, it's common sense to not kill a person, like those situations, the very basic truth that everyone knows. Maybe I need to be corrected on this one, but that's what from my mind, I think how can I define common sense? I'll tune it again in Portugal, man. This will be some good travels, man. If you can even travel, I don't know how strict it is right now.
My parents and I agree on political
Somewhat
and
agree.
social issues. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, Leo. Welcome back.
Hijab girl's out here sending nudes. You better go all the way. It's not just that she's sending nudes, it's that she's like, feels weird about it. So you already know.
Yeah. The pressure.
The haram.
Yeah, the haram.
My parents raised me again on the whole thing of look at every single side. And I guess it didn't go necessarily their way, but at the same time, sometimes it ends up being a wreck, but whenever it's a wreck, we come back and we're like, I see your point, but here's what I think and here's why, loaded with facts, not just oh, I think this because this and this and this X and X and said. No, it's because this is a percentage, this is a statistic that I'm pointing out.
Honestly, I used to try and show them a different perspective and have an open conversation, but I'm kind of at the point now where it's you know what, let's just not talk about it. It's probably for the best.
So basically this guy has this attitude of you know what, I'm not going to do anything in life because it can backfire. Which is another point. Maybe this is not really about Gen Z, but it's kind of something that I don't know, I always felt like talking about, which is, do you guys not talk about maybe you're too young, right? It's not going to be about politics, but don't you talk about, I don't know, at least some things that, even if it is something on YouTube, the Call Me Carson kind of shit, don't you talk with your friends and you understand, you know what, if he has a different opinion, it's fine. I guess for maybe a very young person, that doesn't make any sense. But at 22 years old, I can have a friend, right? I do have a friend where we talk about, and we have the most the most contrary opinions to each other. And at some point, if I get angry, right, we're discussing, we're even raising volume and shit. But at some point I go you know what? Hey man, you're hungry? I could eat something. And we switch off completely. No one gets butthurt on our discussion. And it's really weird when people say oh, no politics between friends. Really? Friends should be the first people that you talk with about politics, because they are the people who know how to convince you if you are wrong about something, if that makes any sense, right? They know how you operate, what you usually think about, and how can they build an argument that is going to be the most favorable to change people's opinions. So I never understood this whole thing of oh, I don't even discuss with people, I just give up. No, when you feel like there's a dead end, that's where you need to break through. That's where the problem is. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a fucking problem if it was so easy to, go ahead. I think she is Muslim. I don't know. I think that's something commonly used in the Muslim culture, but I don't know. I'm not really completely sure. But again, Abin Preach also said it. I might be ignorant here, but I will say that maybe, I think.
My parents always say to me, you...
But yeah, I agree with her. Yeah, that's the... there you go, common sense, which is to... Okay, I completely understand what you're saying, but this is why I feel... you can change your opinion, but you don't have to. And you still are pretty much right about what you believe. You know what? There's a lot of discussions where there's no right or there's no wrong answer. But people think that, especially Generation Z, oh, it has to be this. No, it does not have to be that.
pay attention to
if you're talking about sucking mean duck dick, oof. Have you seen their dicks?
politics more than we do, and we like learn from you. And sometimes we get into little arguments. That can be a good like way to sort of inform each other, because obviously they have more experience like historically, like what went on. But they can also say like, yeah, I don't understand, you know, this specific issue. Can you, you know, get me up to speed? And
I would like to have a disclaimer from my mom and dad. What's coming out of my mouth is coming out through love. Also, if they're watching this, please stop watching this. My parents are very closed-minded and conservative, and there have been fights, as in Daniel's family. I feel like in my household, my opinion is not valid, and it will never be valid as long as I live.
How is that made of fucking love, man? That was nothing positive. I guess what he's saying is like, he's not trying to hurt anyone. Yeah.
I have felt depressed.
Oh, this one. Before they even do anything, I'm gonna bet, right? Most of them are going to the fucking right, to the agree part, right? Here's the problem with Generation Z. Everyone feels like they are depressed. And this is not me gatekeeping or anything like that. This is straight up what I'm gonna say. It's pretty much the truth, okay? Most Generation Z, or even most people, don't feel depressed. You feel sad. I don't know, man. You got rejected on your interview. Your car. You broke your car, and now you can't fix it. You don't have money to pay it. You have some financial issues temporarily. I'm sorry. You failed at having a girlfriend or something like that. You tried and you got rejected. Whatever. This is not feeling depressed. This is feeling sad. It's completely normal when shit goes wrong to feel bad. That's normal. That's being sad. Depressed, however, is an actual fucking disease. Depression is an actual disease, something that you go to the doctor and be like, okay, so this is how I feel and stuff like that, and this is what I've done and shit like that, and he will tell you, or she will tell you, you have depression. Depression is something that is something that you have to medicate it for, right? It is something very severe, something that has to be diagnosable, right? It has to be something that is diagnosed and treated, or at least taken care of. Feeling sad, which a lot of teenagers do, is not, or even everyone in their life, feeling sad is completely normal. The majority of people will not feel depressed, they will feel sad. It's not the same thing. Depressed is when everything is fine and you still are sad, or at least you feel basically like shit. You go to the extremes of thinking of ending it all, right? That's all depression. That's not being sad, that's depression. But just feeling like you're overstressed, overworked, oh, I can't finish this job, or I feel like I don't have any professional aptitudes, or whatever the fuck. Like, whatever you feel sad about, that's feeling sad. Depression is a disease. It's actually something that has to be diagnosed and treated with medication sometimes, and, medical, medical treatment, I guess, in general. That's what I want to say. I blame the sugar industry, industrial complex, for all these mental issues. Would it be? We're actually noticing is that kids are not even having enough sugar nowadays. That's the kind of the thing. Like all these products of like no sugar, no gluten, whatever. Well, something that we're noticing is that a lot of kids are not even getting their daily recommended sugar levels. So that's kind of funny. But blaming McDonald's for the degradation of society, no. McDonald's just gives it a way for it to happen. People still choose to do it and be self-destructive. Gen Z always destroys society and sometimes humanity. Whether we rebuild it or not, they still destroy it. I mean, Generation Z is not like the next generation. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, but Generation Z is the generation that was born in 1992, 2000s, and, current, 2020, whatever the fuck. American sport is a hamburger, another world. Actually, I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. The hamburger itself is not unhealthy. It's fast food itself that is unhealthy. Crippling depression? I mean, if you truly have it, again, I will bet that most of these people will be like, yeah, I'm going all to the fucking right. I agree. So, like, and I can assure you, statistically, it's impossible. Unless they picked up, like, they went to the Depression Society or whatever the fuck, and picked up the people who were being treated there. Like, it's impossible in 6 people, all of them being depressed, okay? Depression might hit 2 out of 6 or whatever the fuck, at most, right? It's something that is severe. It's something that is pretty much a disease. It's not feeling sad.
2, 1, go.
What did I tell you? That's, again, they're not gonna... unless they bring an example of actual being like, I believe that one or, like I said, two of these might actually be like going through or went through depression.
So I'm about to have a really vulnerable moment with y'all. So my whole life, I have been so bullied and words hurt so much. And 6 months ago, I almost took my life.
Okay, there you go. That was quick, but yeah, there you go. Yeah, now this is a case of depression. I'm not a shrink, okay? There may be other red flags, but I'm pretty sure thinking of ending it all is a pretty red flag, a big red flag, and you need to seek medical assistance right away, because that seems like depression, or even if it's not depression, it's just a very unstable mental moment, right, that you're having, or you have some vulnerability that has to be addressed. That's depression. This is depression, all right? But again, unless these people somehow went through that, all of them, no, all right? Being bullied and feeling sad about it is different. But, going to the point of almost actually doing something, that's depression. And there has been a lot of cases in my family. One of them, unfortunately, actually happened. A case of depression that, didn't get treated right and ended up in a really bad case of what this dude could have gone through, which is a permanent solution to a temporary issue. I don't think I need to say anything about this, but it's pretty much evident, but don't do it, right? It's something that you can come back from, and you understand, like, when you hit rock bottom, it can get worse, right? If you hit rock bottom, it is rock bottom. It can only go up after that. So depression is this, right? This is depression, but I don't think that all these 6 guys or 6 people ever felt depressed. Like, all of them felt depressed. No, you felt sad. That's normal.
Because of words, they have this effect on you, and sometimes you can't talk to people about it. And my friend's mom posted, if you needed to talk to someone, to call this number, and I talked to them, and I spoke to them on the phone for 2 hours by myself at nighttime. And if it wasn't for her just doing that, I feel like I wouldn't have been here today. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, he was laughing, but the other dude is like, nah, COVID, I'm staying back here. Hey, is this worth it for my life? Nah, you know what? This is unnecessary. Do I need this to breathe? No, I'm fine. This guy, this guy right here is like staying back into everything, man. Like, you having a discussion? I don't feel like having a discussion. What if an employer in 20 years hears me say this shit? Like, I don't. This guy is like, I'm gonna stay in my spot right here.
Give him that Gen Z group hug. No?
Nope.
Every time, everybody's like, no, I'm not going there. COVID.
Yeah, basically.
Nah, COVID.
Sorry.
My mom, the chips, can't do that. And when he said, like, all my life, I was like, all my life, I mean,
listen.
Life, die for the shot. I let my dick get big as the apple time, so I can fuck the world for a sip. Sorry.
What is this guy on?
Remember, jokes aside, good for him. I'm glad that he's overcome that.
Yeah,
I get it. I think mental health issues are starting to roof, and you want something to invest in. Anybody who does these online therapy sessions or anything like that, a company, definitely a good idea, because it's going to become a bigger issue.
Not no scams. This is the real thing. But the thing that happened as well is that him having conservative parents, like he said, having super conservative parents sometimes.
Yeah. Anxiety would also be different, right? Anxiety doesn't give automatically depression. Anxiety is like, anxiety can also be on the same field of like, oh, I feel like everything's fine, but goddamn it, I feel bad about this. But anxiety is something more to do with the nervous system and an actual mood. You can pass out and shit like that. It's more physical than depression itself, which is still pretty much physical when you try to do self-destructive shit, but it's different.
Being flamboyant, you don't feel like you can talk to your parents like that. You don't feel like you're sometimes you can feel like you can be stuck. And even your siblings sometimes, you can't talk to them. Me, I was fortunate. I could talk to my sister anytime I wanted.
You tell your parents that you're gay?
Motherfucker.
The way you were setting up this whole thing, that's what they were thinking.
I don't give a shit. Why'd you gotta say it? You know, words are very important, you trash ass human being. Anyways.
This guy's been.
I know what I'm saying. Yeah, I can understand where he's from. Where he's coming from.
I am optimistic about the future.
Yeah, I agree.
3, 2, 1, go.
Bro, this generation has to make its fucking mind, like, pick a fucking spot, dude. God damn.
Personally, it's in my nature to not be optimistic because I think a lot of people in our generation are very nihilistic. I try not to like view it like that because it's very like deterministic. Like, well, the world's going to hell, like we can't do anything. And if you believe that, then like you're not fighting for like a better world and you're not fighting for change.
I'm very much with Sarah on the point where our generation is very cynical, very nihilistic. We like to just like assume that things can't be fixed.
To be honest with you, that's every generation.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I see just all kind of always online. Well, the end of the world is coming. Yeah, end times. Like our parents do this. Everyone does it.
It's not every generation. The 70s, the hippie generation.
I would like to correct here. The hippie generation was not really a generation. I mean, it's a generation of like an era, but it's not a generation of people like that. That didn't last forever. After the 70s. Even hippies were like, you know what, this is kind of fucked up. Everyone lost hope. So I don't think, like, that's not a generation. When we talk about generation, we're talking about baby boomers, Generation X, whatever the fuck. That's not the same. That first author, man, like, I know it has nothing to do with it, but wasn't it what Hitler read? And he was like, you know what, I know what this guy is saying. And he basically misconstructed everything that he said about the Superman complex, whatever. I think that's the same author that you're talking about, right? I don't know how to say his name. I'm not going to try because I don't want to butcher it. But I think it's the author that said, like, you know, there are people who are born to be leaders. And somehow Hitler took that shit as be like, you know what? This means that we got to get rid of everyone. The author would be like, you know what? No, take it back. That's not what I said. Yeah, hippies, like, you know, that's not really a generation. It's like they were not... Like, babies were not hippies. Like, there was a generation that was born somewhere in the 50s, I guess. Maybe shorter, maybe 60s, whatever. And then when the 70s hit, they became like, oh, stop the war, man. And they did all this shit. But then after that, they were like, you know what? We're going to die, man. Like, they stopped being optimistic really quick. And I don't think that's a generation. That's something that, you know. So I guess every generation is nihilistic. They always think like, oh, it's going to be the worst of the worst.
They were very hopeful for the world, man. All we are saying is give peace and... Yo, pass me a little piece of that, bud. That's what it was all
Maybe
about.
during the 70s.
Yeah, but after that, it all went
yeah,
to shit.
There you go.
90s onward.
it went 80s
once
onward.
the internet came along.
Once the 70s was done. Like, yo.
Yeah. So that's not really a Gen Z thing, but yeah.
Because in the past, they just never were. I don't know. I think I'm very optimistic for the future because I believe as we become more educated and we have more resources to certain things and information, we can do great things, but we just have to believe that we can or else it won't happen.
Now I'm feeling sad about saying someone disagree. I just was thinking about this in like the climate perspective and like social media, how it's been used so negatively. When I think about those two major things, I can't see it stopping anywhere.
It's a little unimaginable. It's like, you
yeah,
can't,
no, like I want to be positive,
yeah.
of course, and I want the change to happen, but like where does it start?
I try to be positive and I always say like, if there's something you don't like, we can work on it and fix it. And I think that this generation in particular is really good at that. Like Gen Z is crazy. Like we get things done. The impact we've had with like TikTok even, like, yeah, we changed a lot of things.
Exactly, man. As a Gen Z, what? Okay, here I am gonna bring a negative point that I didn't think I was gonna bring, but I mean, you caused it. It's not even TikTok itself. Let's even generalize to social media. What the fuck have we done in the recent years that actually improved the world like that by that large. Like again, our generation, like very young people, 20s. I'm Gen Z, so you could stretch from I guess 17s to 25, I guess, right? What did we do? All right, I'm gonna recognize this. We talk a lot, we discuss a lot, but we discuss in the end of the day and we do nothing. That is something that I believe that Gen Z. I mean, we're not like again. There will be exceptions. There are people who move the fucking world, but I can assure you, compared to other generations, we haven't done shit. Especially on TikTok. What the fuck are you talking about, man? If anything, we with TikTok we made worse things. Like kids started to eat fucking detergent and shit. Like that was you know, and that's one of many. And you're gonna tell me like, oh, but there's more good things. There's not more good things. Like TikTok is an entertainment kind of thing. That's fine. But when it comes to education, really? The other fucking day there was a news about a woman who tried to make a poached egg that she learned on TikTok, and she burned half her face with second-degree burns. Even at teaching cooking, fucking TikTok is useless. What you mean? Well, oh, even with TikTok, we did this shit. Like, no, we didn't do anything properly. Also, the time zone is here. No, I'm sorry. I have to disagree completely on this. We haven't done... Yes, Generation Z likes to talk a lot. But I'll be the first one to recognize we don't do shit after we talk. Like, oh, agree to disagree. And then we feel butthurt about what our fucking opinions not being the same opinions of everyone else. And then nothing is done. Or if it is done the worst, right? Generation Z is usually the kind of like the people who you saw in the riots, you know, when it was supposed to be about this racial inequality and shit like that. Who the fuck were these people? Gen Z doing? They were stealing Nike stores and shit like that because they took the advantage of someone's death to steal their shit. I'm sorry, but we don't do a lot of proper things when it comes to actually changing the world. Like rioting, destroying things does not prove a point, right? I understand we're not the first ones to do this shit, right? Other generations were really good at this, but we believe that we're doing something with it, even though we're not. This is not improving the world in any way. So I'm sorry, you have to give me a fucking actually huge example of TikTok doing something better for the world. I remember ALS challenge, but that was before TikTok. And even that, like, yes, it was a positive thing, but, you know, it was about in like from 2015 to 2000 today, like 2021. I can only think of that, honestly. So I'm sorry, but I don't believe that shit. Monchi, thank you so much for being here, man. Go rest, all right? My time zone, yeah, like, but if in case you can't see it properly, 4:45. I'm sorry, yeah, around that PM, yeah. As I was saying in the video, thank you so much, man. But yeah, do you guys know anything about like TikTok being helpful in any way? Like social media even in general? Like we discuss something and we actually make a change? No, we think that talking on Twitter is something, like posting black squares. Fucking hell, yes, exactly. Like us, Generation Z, we post black squares on profile pics. Oh, we're changing the world. Are you? Who are you trying to teach? The people who already are racist? Don't you think they know they're fucked up? That they're doing something wrong? Do you need to... Like, it's like Bill Burr said. Do you think those PSAs about domestic violence will make the guys go like, oh, I gotta stop hitting my wife because apparently it's not a good thing? They know. These messages are usually empty. Who are they target to? To people who already know this is a bad thing. The only people who will listen to these messages are people who already are doing something properly. They are not racist at the very least. So, no, Generation Z does not do a lot of good when it comes to like, oh... We're posting this on TikTok and we're doing this. Like, we don't do shit.
You know what? Maybe I'm just unaware.
No, this doesn't happen.
I don't know what they changed with TikTok.
Yeah.
Nothing. Maybe. Nothing at all. Nothing.
I think they've changed minds and educated people, but like YouTube did the same thing for folks. Twitter's done the same thing. I don't know. What change you brought about with TikTok? Are you sure? I think that Gen Z gets a bit of a bad rap. Because of the fact that, you know, my generation, the millennials, right? We went the transition from no internet to having internet. And so now we're constantly seeing the younger generation online every day doing TikToks and other stuff we find cringy. And so there's such an influx of contact with younger people all the time that their cringe seems far more than it actually is in terms of like it being present. But if you were thinking about it, our parents' generation looked at us the same way, and their parents' generation looked at them the same way. So it's just
The only difference here that I can say, say it's the biggest difference, is that now the whole world can see your stupid teenager mistakes, right? Like back in the day, you did some fucked up shit, right? You broke into that would be local news. Right now, if someone just broke into the principal's office and destroyed his fucking shit, they will most likely be posted online through CCTV cameras, or whatever the fuck would be, or someone recording that shit, or maybe themselves recording, the kids recording that shit. And that shit is not going to go away. The internet stays with the shit forever. You cannot disappear from the internet. That's the only difference, really. Like, we were doing the same stupid shit before, but now we can propagate the stupid shit. That's the difference. We're not worse. We're not born worse or stupider or whatever the fuck. We're the same kids, but with cameras.
It's a repeating cycle. That's why I don't look at Gen Z and be like, what the it's just a different generation. That's it. I know some people are like, Gen Z's lost. They got purple hair. They're inclusive. It's like, who cares? You know, it's like, I don't rag on them. I don't even think it's that cringy. Personally, from what I've seen, it's just like, that's their thing. You know?
But it's just a natural...
I'll tell you this much. Like, those issues of, like, the pink hair and stuff like that, most of the times it's not even the Gen Z that uses, like, we're talking about millennials sometimes even. I think it is not about the generation of who we were born in, but actually the era. I think what's the problem is the era, not really the generation itself. The kids are the same. The kids are still kids. They're thinking of the same things. The only thing that changes is the behavior, the parenthood, right? And it's always that. If you are to complain about today's generation, look at the other generations, because those are the ones educating these in the current generation. I think every generation is bad at parenting in general, you know, in the broad aspect, because they always fuck up. So today's sin is like parents not giving a shit about their kids and giving them a fucking phone and let them do whatever they want to do and possibly contact predators and shit like that. When back in the day, it was the opposite. It was basically parents, I would not say overprotective, but they would be like, you know what? I want you to be an engineer and you're going to be a fucking engineer, right? Even though today we also have the concept of like, you know, helicopter parents, is what you call them. It's just a different, like, it's always a generation educating another one. So if you want to see through issues like with this generation, look at the past one.
Path of what we're doing. They're just more inclusive than what we were. But we set the tone. Our parents set the tone. Before that, it's just the
progression over generations.
It's just the path that it. I'm not surprised by it. I could cringe about it, but I'm not surprised by it. Yeah. There's some things are weird, but I'm like, yeah, you know, I was a little weirdo when I was a kid, so whatever.
I think it's easy to dunk on Gen Z because they're such easy, but it's just like
every younger generation is an easy target. Watch the other generations gonna come after that.
Yeah, so that's it. You know, they got their own set of problems the way we had our own set of problems. You know, my set of problems involved like real violence. My parents' generation, another set of even more real violence. And this generation, mental health. And look now, as I'm older, mental health is becoming more of an issue. But younger days, like, nobody ever talked about it. I'm not saying it wasn't present, but it just wasn't the focal point of our struggle. Nope. Violence, however, that was a different story. And I think with these kids, like, you know, they're growing up with different issues and different problems, and they're tackling it in a different way. And even if I don't approve or love any of it, I'll go out here and be like, well, Gen Z's trash. Or, some people get too caught up in that. But those are my thoughts. What do you think?
Same.
All right. Well, in that case, leave your comments below. Tell us what you...
Yeah, basically, same thing. There was a few comments I want to talk about, but they are gone. They're not the same as I had in the phone, goddammit. So I'm gonna read them. Oh shit. Get out. So let me read the ones that I actually found and I found interesting to actually look at. I haven't preached. Right. Yeah, it doesn't pop. That's weird. Alright, the first comment is I am Gen Z and yes, we suck. I would not say we suck. We have different problems and I can point out the traditional problems that we have, but they're just different. They're not worse. So I disagree. You are a great believe in yourself. Each generation you have dealt with kind of negativity. Yeah, well, again, different issues, but still fucking up as much as everyone else. Shit, I don't think. Yeah, that's pretty much the opinions of LA young people. That would be an issue. Like Jubilee, correct that shit, right? We already know what LA people want and what they think. Yeah, I think that's just like our generation is. It's the era. I think that's what I'm gonna end up with. I think the issue is the era, not really the generation itself. Even though to a lot of people it might be the synonymous kind of thing, but to me it's not. It's just era would be like every generation does the same thing in that given era. What else can we see? Oh no, Skippy, what the fuck did you do? What? He changed his room? One hour, goddamn Mudahar.
This footage yet, so it'll be the first time I'm watching it with you guys. I have no idea what to expect.
27 minutes, goddamn. I mean, Skippy. I mean, who doesn't know that he wasn't as innocent as it was shown? Oh, now my recommended sucks. This could be interesting.
Howdy. I'm Azim, 21 years old. I was told I was gonna go on 3 speed dates. Also having like some dating coaches in my ear, right? They're gonna kind of help me along, you know. To be honest, I am terrified of dating. I've only been on like really 5 dates. I'll be like, oh god, I don't really think they like me. I think I'm just talking to them. I think I'm just annoying now. I think it's just better like if I like just stop talking. I think it's a lot of self-doubt in myself, you know. Yeah.
My name is Eric Leonard, more known as the Portland dating coach.
I'm Cora, dating relationship expert.
I'm Marina. I'm also a dating coach.
All right, you're doing something really brave here. We've got your back, and I think we're gonna bring in your first date.
Hello.
But hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm so nervous.
No shit, man. Like, he has cameras in front. There's a woman now. There's 3 people assessing what he does. Of course he's nervous. This is not even a normal date. Like, there's 3 people who are gonna judge him basically and be like, no, don't do that shit, do that. And I don't even know how they're gonna coordinate.
I would be too.
I'm Azim, by the way.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Why are you picking this shirt to a fucking date? I mean, come on, man. Also, why is it glass? Is this done on purpose, man? Why is this glass half empty, man? Is that supposed to mean something? Hers is half full.
I'm Kat.
Oh! We're doing this.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. You know what, though? Shout out to my man.
Yeah, it's
I'll say this.
Balls, man.
Half the struggle is even just showing up. My man came through, and even though he's nervous,
dude, he was like, oh, I'm gonna have cameras in front of me, I'm gonna have a girl, I'm gonna have 3 people telling me what to do. Fuck it. I will. Yeah, that takes balls, man. I would not do that shit.
and he's bumbling, he's moving forward. So right off the top, I gotta give it some love, because a lot of y'all be hitting me up. What do I do? Have you tried? No. Good.
You're like,
your hair look nice today.
Thanks. I don't like compliments, you know that.
No?
Not a fan.
When I give a compliment, it's not about you, it's about me, though.
I know. That's what I said.
Throwback! That's like 5 years.
That's like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a throwback. That's a
Yeah, if you guys don't know what video we're talking about, it's on
bruh.
Patreon.
How does it feel to have someone like telling you what to do? Is that uncomfortable?
It's really surreal. So Kat, so what brought you to this thing? Like, what made you come here, you know?
Honestly, I still don't know, because I was like, this year I'm just going to do a stay single 2021.
Okay.
And here I am going on a date, so New Year's resolution never works.
Hey,
That's the takeaway.
Ask her why she wants to stay single.
Why'd you want to stay single? Why single 2021, you know?
Staying single 2021 is more like working on myself.
She wants you to step up and talk about yourself.
So, like, I graduated UW from with a biology degree, right?
Nice.
And, like, really what I'm trying to do with that is I'm trying to become a doctor, really specifically like a pediatrician, you know?
I disagree with what she said about talk about yourself.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same. I don't know if that's 100% agreeable, but let me know. All right. I think girls just like to talk, right? In general, right? And I think that's usually the dynamic that you have on a date. Women usually like to talk a lot about themselves, and they usually don't want to hear a lot about you. Not that they don't care, right? But I guess in the first contact kind of thing, it's usually always a dynamic that happens. It's not something that I agree with or something that I think like, oh, this is me saying it. I just feel like that's what I see because I'm not even in the scene anymore. But that's usually what I see women talk. God damn it, even with my girlfriend, man. Sometimes she admits, like, oh, I know that sometimes I talk a lot about stuff that I'm not expecting you to answer. They just like to talk. They like to vent and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe step it up, I guess, for a little bit. But she should have said, like, okay, just say something about you and then let her talk, right? Because usually that's how it goes.
The biggest piece of advice I could tell you is ask them questions about them and push with those questions. I'm not saying you got to be inquisitive, but there's a natural way to go about conversations where the other person gets to talk a lot about themselves, and to provide the conversation's free-flowing and fun, they'll enjoy it. And me personally, my advice, dudes, is you're better off asking questions about them than being the one who just talks about himself out of nowhere. There's times for it. I'm not saying it's necessarily bad, but the opposite's actually better. Yep. Here's the difference between men and women. A woman who talks about herself is just sharing. A man who talks about himself is arrogant.
Yes. That's a fucking perception I was thinking about. Exactly. That is a perception that usually happens. Which is terrible, but it's true.
So if you just are volunteering a bunch of information, a woman's going to be like, when are you going to start talking about me? Whereas if a woman's constantly talking about her things, guys are like, we still tonight? We don't have that same thought pattern. We don't.
Bars.
I've had so many girls tell me, oh, the guy just talked about himself the whole day. I have never heard a dude say, she didn't ask me any questions about me. Then you never heard that.
Never,
true.
Never.
So that's the difference between the two.
It is a big difference.
And that's also why I would never take advice from female dating coaches.
I wouldn't. I would be skeptical.
Yeah. That's absolutely something that I 100% agree. I would not take a female dating coach to, I guess, coach me. That does, like, they know what they want, but they don't know how to, like, I think everyone at some point doesn't know what they want, right? And there's all those little things that you think like, oh, no, I'm not really interested in that. But when it happens in the moment, you go like, holy shit, I like that, right? So I would not really take an opinion of her. I think I would have taken an opinion of men who go through and they know how to feel. Like, I understand the argument would be like, oh, but they know what they like to hear, what they would like for you to do. But I think men in the end of the day who fail a lot are the ones who know, like, okay, see, here's the things that absolutely do not work. Like, they have case studies, I guess, in a certain way. Like, they have statistics. They know, okay, this usually does not work. It can happen, but it usually does not work. So cut it off your method, let's call it. Yeah, I would not trust women because in that way, like, they don't feel what we feel in that position.
Well, I'd be like, okay. But who are you giving the advice to? Girls? Cool. Guys?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't recommend dudes take advice.
I'd be like,
Reviewing him.
Where are you like looking to go?
I'd like to stay here, UW Med, because like it'd be nice to be here with all my friends, hopefully be here with you, too. But like,
press pause.
Yo, he's giving little jabs.
Okay.
I ain't mad at that.
Dude, for someone who's trying, that was very fucking smooth.
UW Med, because like it'd be nice to be here with all my friends, hopefully be here with you, too. But like,
press pause.
Dude, you just slide that shit in and be like, she likes to hear that. Like, girls like to hear that shit, right? That was smooth. It wasn't like gross or anything like that. It was like, yeah, yeah. This guy, why would I trust this guy more than the female dating coaches? Because he's going through the experience of doing something, and he's failing sometimes, but he's also hitting some jabs that I would be like, oh, that actually seems like very smooth.
Pause.
Yo, he's giving little jabs.
Okay.
I ain't mad at that.
He went for a right hook when the person could see through the guard.
Hey.
Saw it coming. It wasn't the right time. But he went for it. right? He wasn't just there being passive. He shot his shot. And it was a bad shot.
I mean, I would not call it a bad shot. I think that's a very passive way, not a passive way like they said, but in a very maybe stealthy way to input, like, I already see things with you, right? Now, if you said anything about marriage or whatever, that would be like going a little bit overboard, but I don't think that's what happened. I think that was actually a good move.
But I respect it, right? Don't pull a Ben Simmons where you don't take any shots in the NBA Finals game, conference finals. Don't be that dude. So respect to him for that.
Oscar De La Hoya, Diego Corrales, my nigga, keep jabbing. Let's go.
Well, let's see.
They're not really vibing.
She's really quite still with this whole thing, right? While he has this notable animation.
I definitely think he's intimidated by her.
What about you? You lived through your whole life?
Oh no. I went to high school in Michigan.
It's getting a little bit like informational. Bring the conversation to a more playful place.
So tell me, what kind of hobbies do you do? What do you like to do for fun, you know?
What do I do for fun?
Yeah.
I have a cat.
Look at
My
that
cat's
bridge.
birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to the cat.
Yeah, thank you. I'll let her know. Okay.
You don't want your asking of questions to seem like a questionnaire. What hobbies do you do? Where do you live?
Yeah.
What part of town? You don't go through every sequence together. If you ask about the cat and she says, "Oh, my cat, it was his birthday," I'm like, "Yo, dope. Did y'all get him a cake? How many candles?"
You have to go on. You
right?
have to go on the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of cat is?
What kind of? Yeah. Even if you don't give a shit.
Yeah, and what if the cat's name was Casper? It's like, yo, you just waiting for him to die? Like, you're already ready for the afterlife? You can interject humor into
Hold on now. Goddamn. I guess that would work, but Jesus.
And it doesn't make it feel like a question, but like a fun reveal. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where you go with the leading question, but then you follow up with that to make it not so... Okay, that's your cat.
Cat.
What's your
cat.
sister's name?
Mm-hmm.
Gemini? Great.
Yeah. No, but like honestly,
Tell her she's intriguing and has a little bit of an edge. She's got pink hair.
Let me just say real quick that like you got pink, you got like the little highlights in your hair. You know, you see you got a lot going on in your life, and
Say,
like
I'm intrigued by you.
I'm super intrigued.
Awkward. That's awkward.
That's awkward, yeah. See what I mean? Like, that feels like something that a woman would say, but in that context, I guess if she was in that situation, she would know how fucking terrible it is to hear that, right? In a certain way that I would not be a dating coach either. I'm saying these things, but I'm not expecting you to follow that shit, right? But, goddamn, man, I don't think that wouldn't work out. Like, all this, like, one thing is saying, like, the hair looks nice and shit like that, but, like, you intrigue me. That is something that you read in fucking Romeo and Juliet. That is not something that you do in real life. Am I wrong? I mean, that's just... I don't know the word for it. I'm not going to say pumptuous. Is that even a word? Because I'm thinking in Portuguese. It's too Shakespeare kind of thing. You know, like, it's, no.
If you're on the back foot, okay, and she's getting an awkward vibe, the last thing you want to do is be like, I'm so intrigued by you. Looking like you want and you're needing more. That's not how you turn it around. That's not how you turn it around. If a girl's like kind of awkward and feeling weird for me, I'm like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. No, it's going to make her feel weird, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. This advice is bad.
Yeah, straight away from compliments.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. I had a question like that. People question me. They're like, yo.
If you gotta go for compliments, man, you gotta be very stealthy.
What do I do? Like, in my language, pickup line sounds very rough, and girls don't reply to hi. If you want to wow a girl, you have to get outside the box, okay? Don't do the obvious thing.
Yeah,
if she has beautiful eyes.
It's like an interview in a certain way. Don't treat it like completely like an interview, but it's like an interview. You gotta be different than the other candidate. The way that you choose to be different, that's up to you, but you gotta bring something that is like, is on the buzzwords like, oh, I'm very committed to this and I have dedication, and like go beyond and say like, oh, you know what, I had this specific situation where I did this and then that, and I was able to overcome it by doing this and then that. In a job interview, you kind of do that kind of stuff, right? And I'm not very experienced in interviews, but that's what usually the thing that I always do, because it is something that's going to be very unique for the interviewer to know about you. Something that's going to separate you from every other candidate. On a dating situation, it's the same thing when it comes to being a completely different person than the usual people that she goes out on a date, because you got to be her type, but you can't be the whole thing. Like, it doesn't... The personality has to go beyond, and you have to have your own fucking hobbies in a certain situation, but not even that. I guess perspectives. That's the word I would use.
Don't talk about her beautiful eyes because one, because she's heard that all her life. 2, it's not her fault. She ain't got nothing to do with that. 3, every guy that she's been with or she's seen talked about her eyes. Go outside the box. I would actually avoid compliments that are obvious. If you like in her style, that's one thing. If you like her vibe, that's another thing. Her eyes, her haircut, things that we like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Different shit.
use it like spice. You know what I mean? Seasoning your food is good, but too much salt is high blood pressure. You understand what I'm saying?
You know? I really appreciate that, although I don't know how much of it is like your earpiece, they're in your head, or...
I won't reveal that.
Say you'll find out on the second date.
Say you'll find out.
Now that is not subtle. That's not a jab. That's not a good jab. That compare, like, even if they think that's a bad, like what he did was a bad jab before, that was a fucking at least proper. This one is like, what the fuck are you? What is this? Is she reading Shakespeare and thinking that, oh, this is me being a dating coach? Like, no, that's not. It's not even the language that she used. It's the fact that, like, oh, it's all about you already in the first date. Like, no.
On the second date. Maybe this is the editing. There was like zero to little no chemistry.
Hey, so let's say hypothetically, right? Let's say we're on a second date, right?
See, even he feels like a little bit weird and be like, okay, hypothetically.
Let's say like I plan a picnic for you, right? Would you be into that?
A picnic?
I'm already like looking forward to the next date.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess he's being aggressive, but I mean, it's not his fault. Again, he's going through what, I don't know.
Okay. It's at the end of this date.
Thanks so much for joining me. That was fun.
Great to meet you.
Are they still talking to you?
Yeah, they're still in my ear, but I just want to say real quick, thank you so much for being here. I really.
You know what would be a boss fucking move right here? Just take that shit off and start talking. Dude, I think that would win her over. Just for the mere fact that, oh, this guy is actually doing his own thing. Like, imagine that shit, man. Maybe you would not get paid, but shit.
You appreciate you.
For sure. Yeah. Okay.
How did that go for you?
It feels a little weird. Like, I feel like almost ingenuine. I don't know. It's a weird feeling, but I feel good. Yeah, what do you think of him so far?
I don't think he feels worthy or feels comfortable approaching a woman.
She was, in fact, questioning his sincerity a lot, I think. If I can be completely honest, I'm not convinced she wants to see him again.
Captain fucking obvious.
But yeah, yeah.
Hey, is this really your profession? You guys are trash at your job. He doesn't seem like he has too much confidence. What gave that away? His fucking fumbling for 10 minutes? You guys have nothing insightful to say? Jesus Christ. You know what's crazy is the girl in the middle is actually the best one out of all three of these. The other two are useless. Listen, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people who are dating coaches, okay, who are trash at what they do, who probably don't really get out there that much.
And release. This will calm down your nervous system.
No, I think it would do
Enters,
the opposite.
Look into her eyes and do like a little water cheers. You're James Bond. Own it.
Oh, like this?
Shaken. Let's start. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm already thinking what we're gonna do in the bedroom. Hey! I don't know, man. What you need to say? Like that James Bond? Really? That's what women usually think. Oh, I would want some James Bond action. Like, what? Have you seen how James Bond treats the girls? If not only, like, I don't know how many of them actually end up dying or in a worse situation. Like, what? Really? Like, classy? That's not classy. Like, I feel like I'm shaking the queen, like shaking the hand of the queen or something. That's not going to be a positive first interaction.
Did y'all bring these dating coaches to sabotage him? Do you think this is... Cheers. That's corny. That's corny.
Hey.
Hi. Don't forget the cheers.
I forgot the cheers. I'm sorry. They got. I don't know. You know, they got me in my ear and like. Yeah. I'm real. I forgot what they're trying to like. They told me.
I'm sorry. I wanted to go through with it without saying anything, but I can't. I think she could replace my fan in this room. I mean, the wind on that shit. That would be impressive. Alright, literally just 10 seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Alright, there you go. Let's continue this. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, those... Jesus, man. Come on. I want to be mean or anything like that, but Jesus, that would just... This whole room... No papers would have to be... Like, couldn't be on top of tables. There would just be a tornado in this bitch.
Somebody said that beforehand, I already forgot it, so...
They're talking into your ear.
Yeah, they're like in my ear right now, yeah. They're telling me to like look in your eyes and like cheers. I forgot what that exactly meant, to be honest.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Drink up the glass and cheers.
Oh,
yeah. All
yeah.
right, cheers. They're onto something. How did you get here? Like,
I've been kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, kind of on the dating scene for like a pretty long time, you know?
What about Tinder? Have you tried Tinder?
I have, not the greatest.
Avoid talking about previous dates.
So that's another bad piece of advice. Previous date.
Not the greatest.
Avoid talking about previous dates.
So that's another bad piece of advice. Previous dates are fantastic conversation starters. How would
That is true. Like, you can say what they didn't work out so that the person doesn't do it.
I tell you, talking about bad previous dates or funny dates is one of the funniest parts of it, because most of us go through dating and it's like a...
It's relatable shit. Yeah, absolutely. It's relatable. Like, that person most likely until that point, if they're trying, is because they went through dates that were also terrible. And you're gonna, like, just amount, like, this huge snowball effect where you're just gonna talk shit about, like, the other fucking dates. And if that person feels like, oh, I could have easily done this in this date, let me not do it, it's a very, very good, I guess, tool to use to tell the other person without actually telling them, okay, listen, this doesn't really usually work out for me. So just by saying what it didn't connect with you in the previous state, so that they can relate to that and be like, okay, so I won't do that shit.
exasperating experience. Like we're all going through it. So asking about it is perfectly fine, providing you're like, man, I was with this like hot bitch and we fucked. No, but if it's just like, man, my last date showed up 25 minutes late and then expected me to pay. Like maybe you have a funny way of talking about it. I often do this on dates where I'll ask like, yo, what's your worst date on Tinder? And the stories are fantastic because it's kind of like our YouTube channel where we talk about something like terrible that happened and then we all share and laugh about it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So when she says don't talk about previous dates, do not listen to that advice. It's perfectly fine to, provided you do so in a humorous manner or tell an interesting story.
What are your hobbies?
We kind of like split between, you know, like working like medical school applications.
Ooh, medical school? You trying to be a doctor?
Yeah, I'm trying to be a pediatrician, really.
Every time you say that you're a doctor, people like that. They like that. Ooh, doctor. You're gonna be a doctor.
Okay, that's one of the best.
That also means him not around the house, which I guess to some people that's not an issue, really.
Say, you like that?
You like.
What the fuck? What? Am I gonna be the only one reacting here? Honestly, I'm gonna be the only one finding that weird.
You like the doctor?
Doctor.
Okay, that's one of the best.
Say, you like that?
You like the doctor vibe? You face it?
I like the men with money.
You like the doctor vibe?
No, I like the money vibe. I mean, doctor, pediatrician, hood nigga. If they got money.
We're talking about why you want to be a doctor.
Medical system hasn't like treated black people well, you know, like.
Just remember, you can breathe, you can take time to think between things.
I want to be that doctor that can be like, you know, hey, look, it's not all bad. There's people who can support you. People gonna be here for you, you know.
That was good advice.
That was interesting.
So don't ramble on. Take the breaths. Pause it.
That is true. That is such a simple thing that people think like, yeah, it's kind of bullshit or basic, but most people don't do it. Take your time to talk. Something that I have to learn on this stream, for example. I always try to talk too fast sometimes, and I still do it. Just take your time. Like, there's no, especially in a situation where it's not expected to be quick. Maybe if you are on a timed interview, if those shit exists or whatever, but have the time to talk. Even when talking to your friends or whatever, just take your time.
Pauses within any kind of speech have a good way of making everyone embrace the science, create a bit of tension, and also gets you gathering your thoughts. When you're speaking 100 beats per second, going just hurling information, it almost gives off an air of uncomfortableness. You know, basically. It's
also overwhelming. Most people don't have the fucking attention to. I mean, one thing is for people to be focused. Another thing is to be focused, so they can hear. Like when Baron Shapiro talks, you know, where's rapid fire. I understand this is one of his tactics, but you know, most people who actually want to hear someone, they like people who speak slowly. The guy on the left looks fucking bored as fuck. Usually, when there's some bullshit happening, Pritch is like, you know what, you know, he makes that face of like, God damn it, he always closes his eye and shit like that. But when it's time to laugh, this guy is laugh. Have you ever seen his fucking videos of like him laughing? They even make a compilation of him laughing. Pritch is absolutely, I love Pritch.
It makes you look like you're worried.
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait le gars dans tout ça?
He always looks like that. See, now you're gonna talk French and you're gonna be completely lost for 1 minute.
What do you mean? You're asking what the guy on the left is doing?
Yeah. Qu'est-ce qu'il fait lui?
He's getting his.
Oh, you mean the guy on the left of the?
He's getting his cut.
That's right.
Oh my god.
I don't even know how to describe that dude.
I was actually wondering, I was like, what made him want to be a pediatrician? And that's probably the best answer I've heard.
Flirt more. Make her feel seen.
You know,
Alright, after this one, I'll show you the compilation of him laughing, dude. It's absolutely just... You will laugh just because he's laughing.
A cute girl here, so
hey, he's charming. You charming. Girls love compliments.
Ask her what she likes about you.
And preface the question by being like, I have a bold question.
Yeah, get her consent on that too. Is it okay if I
you know what? Maybe the female dating coach is actually the best. My dude, what the fuck? Listen, man. Like, listen. I know. Maybe on an internet presence, you need to create disclaimers. Don't do that shit on a date. I'm not saying, like, again, like the consent kind of thing has to be, like, ignored. I'm not saying that. But when you are in the conversation, the consent is not already given. But there's a lot of situations where, for example, I have my girlfriend. There's a lot of situations where I don't say, like, I'm okay with this. I don't specifically say every situation I'm okay with it, or I don't ask. No one asks any, like, consent sometimes is presumed that is true. But doesn't, like, don't fall into the idea that a lot of people are trying to say nowadays on the internet that it's bad if you assume consent. Like, it really depends on body language. Body language is a way to give consent. Right? Obviously, in the end of the day, if someone says no, listen, man, you don't play around with the fucking no. But listen, unless she says, like, you know what, I'm not comfortable with you saying that shit. Or, you know, if he's like, can I ask a bold question? And she says no, and you have to persist on, like, no one's saying to do that. But I mean, ask consent? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Consent for a question? On a date. If you ask for consent to question a date, then your date's over and you're forever. So, like, listen, it doesn't work. Even with my girlfriend, man. Like, it's one of the most unattractive shit that a lot of girls will say, like, they will admit when guys, like, they're in this moment where it's clear they want to kiss, but the guy goes like, can I kiss you? Like, that's not, like, this, again, this is not the movies, nothing like that. To some girls, it can work. I'm not going to say that. Every woman is different. But to a lot of girls, this is, like, kind of a dumb kind of thing. If you're in the situation, like, they expect a kiss and no words, because to a lot of people, this seems like a really cool ambience, let's say, like, when you don't need words to communicate, you know? Body language and body communication is very important when you are getting to know someone and you're very close to that person, let's say, or you want to be close to that person. Like, you're inches away from the mouth. You're not supposed to be like, oh, can I kiss you? Like, no, dude, just kiss, right? Again, it all comes down to the point of understanding, like, is this a situation to kiss? Is she really interested? There's a ways to tell. Like, the body language is not something that was being discovered yesterday, right? This happens all the time. Asking for consent for what? We're even talking about a kiss, but a question? Right? A question is a question. A question is part of that. Like, you ask a question. If the person is not comfortable answering, they will say, like, I'm not answering. Right? That's it. You're not the one breaching. Like, you're not giving information they don't want to hear. You're asking for information, they will say no or yes. That's it. It's kind of obvious when you do a question. Sign off. If you were going for casual sex, man, that's why I would stay away from casual sex. I don't even give a shit about that. Right? Make bullshit accusations in future in the event you become wealthy. I guess that is very specific situation. I guess you have to be rich for that. Which, rip, I'm not. But yes, a lot of them are making bullshit rape. Accusations for consensual sex in past because they want the money. Yeah, I get very high celebrity, like high targets, let's call them that. High value targets. Celebrities, high profile celebrities. There you go. Yeah, that happens. But usually for you and me, I don't see that happening. There's still fake reports, but they're not the majority, as a lot of people like to say that it is. It's not. But yeah, if you want to be safe, just don't even go for casual sex, really. Like, there's no way to assure you that you're going to be risk-free. But it's not even the consent. We're not even talking about consent for sex, man. We're talking about consent to say something. Like, no, don't do that. Even the can I kiss you will throw off a lot of women. I'm not going to say the date is going to end, but, you know, it's not going to be a pleasant thing for them to hear. Right? Because they are thinking, like, get in their minds and think, okay, so we're in this situation. It's pretty clear that I like him and he likes me, right? If you say that kind of shit, like, again, can work to some girls. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But that kind of creates this ambience of, like, is this an interview? It's like something that I have to, like, too much is, well, too much. And sometimes you need to take back and to take risks, right?
Give you a bold question.
Press pause.
Like, press pause immediately. Do not like consent for a question. We're not even talking about kissing. Like, I'll even stretch what you call it. Like, I'll even allow a discussion for the kissing and stuff. But for a question, a consent kind of thing, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Press pause. Press pause. Press pause. No, press pause. Did this man just chime in?
See what I mean?
Bruv.
Yo.
I can't do it.
Nah, bro. I need to just calm down.
Oh, wow. Yeah, be in your body.
You know what?
Breathe.
You know what, though? You know what's sad about this? There's people paying for his advice. That's the
Fuck.
saddest part.
Sad.
Dating is hard enough as it is. You got goobers like this man. Talk about, ask for consent to ask a bold question. Jesus Christ.
When you
Dude, you're asking a question. When you ask the question, you are asking for consent. Can I ask you something bold? That is asking for consent. Do you allow me to ask the question? What the fuck is that? Also, how is that advice something that you come up with? I'm really like, even on the kissing, like I said, even on the kissing, a lot of women are like, you know what? Or they wouldn't say this, but they will feel like, you know what? It would be a better kiss if you didn't say or ask, can we kiss? Because that was the situation that was set up. Like, it was pretty clear that both of you want to kiss, right? That can easily destroy the fucking mood very quickly. To some girls, it can be a good thing. To some girls, it won't, right? But asking consent for a fucking question. What? You're asking a question that's automatically something that the person can say yes or no. Jesus, man. Someone who went from flipping burgers like McDonald's to being a McDonald's executive. 12 million a year. Someone like him is at risk.
Can I ask you a bold question? That's
Depends.
the consent. Now you're asking the fucking question twice.
Exactly, man. Like, you're already asking the question. That's the consent part. Like, Jesus, man. We are too fucking focused on, like, consent. Sometimes consent is expressed through body contact. We're not talking about that kind of bullshit a lot of guys go with, like, oh, she did this. She's scratching the right eye. It's like, they create some kind of bullshit excuse. Like, that's not it. But when, like, you're literally fucking close to each other, like 5 inches away or something like that, a kiss there doesn't seem like a immoral or unethical shit to do. But a question is even where I don't allow any argument, man. It's a question. You're already asking for consent when you ask a question. Jesus.
Do I have your consent to have the consent to ask you a bold question about a bold question? Bruh!
And it's a terrible question. What do you like about me? Like you're fishing for compliments? It's like such.
I don't know Ron Jeremy's case, but thousands of women. Jesus.
Direct. It's not even like nuanced or flavored.
That's setting up for failure.
Maybe you might have been like, hey, what made you want to go on this date?
But hey, man, let me tell you this much, all right? Even though it's unfair, but I'll say what I said before. The world is cruel, and you're kind of a dumbass if you don't know how the world works. So him fucking thousands of women, you took the risk, bro, right? I'm not saying that is justified, but if people come like, well, it was completely consensual, watch what you do. Like, when you involve a lot of women or even a lot of men in certain situations, there's going to be a risk of, like, even when you help people, you need to be wary of helping people. Like, people can be very fucking mean and abuse your proper, delicate, like, how should I say this? Your polite ways, I guess, even. I don't know.
That's a way better question than being like, so what do you like about me? Ugh. If I was on a date with a girl, she's like, so what do you think is beautiful about me? It's like,
bitch, I don't know you.
Why are you fishing for compliments?
And
like
you
that?
probably drink the Sunny. Calm down.
Man, this is brutal. Oh, this is brutal. This is how you know motherfuckers got no game.
And yo, I got like a bold question if you're okay to like answer. You know?
I'm worried now.
What you like about me? You know?
I think your ambition, it stands out. Also the hair.
Yeah. Oh. So
I don't know how you keep it so. How?
Next time we go out, I'll tell you all the secrets about my hair.
Doesn't that seem like a very big fucking phrase? I don't know. That's the odd feeling that I got out of that.
If you want to know more, I can tell you next time. You know, but next day.
It's not the worst.
Maybe go find something to eat.
Oh wait, would it be like? Where would it be?
Ask her for her favorite type of international cuisine.
I'm exposing my bald head out of disbelief for this. Bro, did this guy read a fucking encyclopedia about dating or something? And he was like, you know what? I do that. And then kept reading the fucking encyclopedia or dictionary. Like, what if she doesn't? Don't you think that's gonna make her feel fucking stupid when you start talking like this? What's your favorite international cuisine food? How about you ask her favorite food? so that you can, even if she likes McDonald's, that's fucking deal. That's a fucking done deal right there, man. We're gonna eat both. Both are gonna eat something we like, right? It's gonna be cheap. Just do what, like, it's a question that you don't need to flourish. Just ask what do you like to eat. What type of food? Fuck it. I don't know. Let go with that. Stream crashed. Maybe because it was 13,000. I'm sorry. So let me repeat this, I guess. Right. Like, you don't need to ask for the favorite international cuisine food. Ask for the best, like, what do you like to eat? What's the type of food that you like? If it's McDonald's, so fucking be it, right? It's cheap for you. Both of you like McDonald's. Hey, it seems like a great deal. Jesus. Doesn't seem like to be like a 7,000 now.
What kind of food you like? What's like international food? What you like?
I love my Thai food.
Tell her that you would love to make her a tom yum from Thailand.
He doubled down.
And that she is tom yum.
Look at this guy. He's trying to sabotage, man. Fuck that. He is trying to sabotage this one. Hey, Nathan, how you doing, man? Oh, wait, we have Twitch now. Look at that shit. How you doing, man? Man, this guy is sabotaging this dude.
Tom Yum from Thailand, and that.
Oh, wait, what happened? Fuck, I clicked.
Damn, my
Something. What? How did you get here? Like,
I've been
expecting me to pick.
I'm trying to be a pediatrician, really.
Direct.
oh God, that's.
Wait.
What's sad about this? Oh no.
She like that.
But yeah, so.
Type of international cuisine.
Look at this.
Like?
Listen to
like
this.
International food. What you like?
I love my Thai food.
Tell her that you would love to make her a tom yum from Thailand, and that she is tom yum.
Bro. Preacher's face is me internally, man. Look at his smirk. He's proud of that shit. This guy is sabotaging this dude.
Oh no!
Make you a tom yum from Thailand. And
I can't hear it, man. I can't fucking hear it. This is so painful. You know what? It's painful when I'm hiding behind the fucking pop filter. Will mean spending significant. Yeah, man. Like, what if she says she likes McDonald's, man? You have a great fucking date right there at McDonald's, man. Or at the very least, you take a risk. Usually they like that, right? Like, fucking, does she like Italian? I don't know. Let's go to Italian restaurant. If she's dumb enough to not know how an Italian restaurant sounds like, then fuck it. Right? Asking the favorite. Who does this?
you tom yummy? I don't know.
Hold on, I just read that shit. When Ron Jeremy dies, the CDC will have to remove his body and probably study it. Yeah, man, with all these women, yeah.
Make a
tom yum.
Okay, from
and
Thailand.
and you tom yummy, you know, like.
And he fucked up explaining it. That was a thing, man. Goddamn.
That's so like corny but cute.
You know she's being nice with that shit, man.
Corny but cute! Still corny! Ah! Oh no! No! That is the first time in a video that I'm actually requesting YouTube to give us like an advertisement break. Like, you could put the break right now, just to give a little breather.
I'm
Jesus.
Jesus.
Pro bono. Young man, if you watch this video, DM us. All right, I'll give you the resources. I'll link you to good podcasts. I'll even give you advice for free. Whatever you need, hit us up. Let's have a talk.
Let's have a talk.
I'm sorry you have to go through this.
Let's do this
Their
shit.
advice is terrible. You may not even know it's terrible.
Horrid.
Yeah, he has no experience.
Can't have it.
Okay? And I knew she was going to say it was corny because that's corny. That dating coach, he's corny.
He even got lucky that she answered, dude. Should be getting advice from Charlie. Is he like? I don't even know if he would be a good gay guy. Right? This does not work with anyone. You say this shit to a dude, he would be like, "What the fuck? That's corny shit." Like, that's not something that you say. That's something that you say when you're fucking playing some shit like on your PlayStation, whatever, and you're already dating this girl for 2 fucking years. You already are comfortable enough to fart in front of her and shit like that, and you ask her like, "Hey, do you like yum? Because you're yum." And no, or I didn't even understand what he said, man. Like he said like, okay, because he said she would make, like, would it make sense that the guy made the food, right? So whatever. But you can say like, oh, you know, I really like yum yum, and you look like yum yum, or some whatever the fuck he said. This felt more like him flaunting that he knew about Thailandese what you call it, Thai food, rather than actually teaching making the dude actually get this date to work. Like it feels like he's trying to flex what he knows about Thai food. Like honestly, I think he just does not give a shit about this video and be like, you know what? Let me mess with this dude. It can't, like, this does not look for you professionally speaking. If you are a dating coach, this does not look good. Dude, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck is that?
He's corny as fuck.
Okay? And I could actually see in you, you're actually really cool. Other than your nervousness,
yeah,
you're actually very...
I think if he didn't have a mic, dude, even if he was nervous, he could still be that, like, feeling that she has of, like, him being cute when he tries shit, right? Or he could honestly say, like, you know what, I'm sorry, that was terrible. That's the guy on my ear saying that shit. And then like I said, that would be a boss-ass fucking move. You take that shit off your ear, and you actually try it for yourself, because you could do something with that shit. The mere fact that this guy had the bravery to go into this with cameras and 3 people listening to what he's saying and telling him what to do, and there's multiple girls and shit like that. Dude, you have the balls to just go on Tinder, whatever fuck you may want to choose, and have a proper date. Honestly, dude, even if you are this nervous, women will be like, you know, that was cute nervous though. I like the guy. Honestly, dude, especially now that you want to become a doctor and stuff like that. Like, listen, you have your way like your path paved. You don't need anything other than that. He doesn't honestly know anything about that Thai food. He can cook it off. Knows about Thai food. Yeah, like, I think he's just trying to flex.
Vibrant. You got good energy.
And yes, that is kind of ingenuine, right? Because he doesn't know anything about Thai food. So why the fuck would that advice apply to him? The dude doesn't know anything about Thai food. So they do go to a restaurant. They do go to a Thai food restaurant. He doesn't know anything about that shit. Right? What if she wants to experience new things, but he doesn't know? At least if he was honest and be like, hey, I know nothing about Thai food, but I would like to try it with you. Like, that would be something different.
You got good taste, okay? So don't stress it. It's going to come together. But I'm sorry that you have to get advice from these people. I promise you I'll redirect you in the good spot, okay? But this is sad. Tom Yum. This man.
Tom Yummy.
What's your favorite cuisine? Italian? Ooh, I'm going to make you some pasta and meatballs. You want meatballs? You look like a meatball.
You're delicious.
Oh.
Like a meatball.
It's corny, bro.
Oh, you, like Italian? Well, I tell you that, no.
Like,
You try.
You're trying to get this man to say no, right?
No.
If you don't have that level of endearment between the both of you, don't be like, yo, come over to my place for some homemade cooked food. Like, that's coming too strong.
There's levels to this shit.
If you guys don't have high chemistry, don't be like, hey, girl, why don't you come by my place? I'll make you some pasta and meatballs. No, you pushing too fast.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you didn't have, like
I said, this is something that you say with your girl already, that you are like 2 years in, and she knows like these corny jokes might even work because she likes you. She finds you funny. So even if you're throwing this as a joke, she might be interested and answer back. I'll certainly be your yum yum, whatever the fuck you said, right? But this does not work on a first date. What is this?
Fireworks on the first date. On the second date, still go for something chill and casual. Okay? If you macked it on and she's laughing and y'all going out, like, hey, if you want some food, y'all can always make some on my place. You know what I'm saying? We can do it. But this is awkward.
Are you saying that there's levels to this shit?
Of course. Of course.
You're very charming, and I think you're gonna attract just the person you're looking for.
She's not into him at all.
No.
She's not into him. No. She's having a good time. She's chilling, but she's not into this dude whatsoever.
She said corny.
Stay decisive. Be like, I'll see you at that picnic.
You know what? Next day, I'm finna see you at that picnic.
All right, well.
That is creepy, dude. That's hearing a no. That's where the consent shit comes. And when she says like, you know, she gave a clear sign, even though she said like, I'm not interested. Again, language, right? You need to know what are people saying, even if they say a no. And this is clearly her saying like, you know what, you'll find someone else. That's a done deal, dude. And saying like, oh, no, I'm gonna see you in that picnic. That's creepy as shit. That is creepy as shit. That's not gonna work. The fuck are these people making any money, man? That's not gonna work.
Well, great to meet you. Keep your charm, and continue to be ambitious. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
That
rejection.
was a soft send away.
Rejection. Good for her, though.
We're curious if you ever feel intimidated by women.
Not gonna lie, sometimes, you know, I feel like they can like see through me sometimes, you know.
Only good things to see.
You guys are there.
You got this.
But again, man, like he's nervous with all the like without the cameras, without these terrible dating coaches, you could do bad. Like you could do good.
I'm Azim, by the way. Your name?
I'm so.
Why the fuck did she get orange juice? What is this? White privilege in this bitch. What is this? Orange juice all of a sudden?
Sophie, nice to meet you.
Don't touch the outside of your mask too. What the fuck is wrong with people?
Nice to meet you. This is interesting.
Oh no, for sure.
Compliment her.
I love your eyes, honestly.
Oh, thank you.
Just be genuinely curious about the person in front of you.
This is definitely the type of girl to have plants all over a room and some Plan B in the closet.
And this kind of free.
Yeah. Sometimes you never even had sex with a girl. Y'all just making out. And then right in the middle of making out, she reaches in her pocket. She got a condom ready. He's like, "Oh, we doing that?" I just cleared my chlamydia last week.
You like anime?
Yeah, do you?
Oh, yo, I'm big weeb.
Oh my god. Okay, that'll make this way easier.
There you go.
actually.
They're bonding.
They're already doing it.
I like Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. Don't you find it funny that when you shut the fuck up, he actually is able to do something? I'm pretty sure he would never think of like, oh, you know what, talk about anime. A lot of people would be like, nah, that's some weeb shit, don't do that. Like, it's clicking off. Okay, that's clicking.
Hunter, if you've ever seen it.
Oh my god, I love Hunter x Hunter.
I got like the manga that continues after the anime ends. They have some good ass fights.
Do Kurolo and Hisoka ever fight?
Yeah, actually, that's the fight that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, I gotta pick that up.
He's so excited. He's into her.
And y'all shutting the fuck up and ain't saying shit. Did you notice that?
I have not watched this video before, man. Boom. Like, exactly. When you shut the fuck up and you actually let him take a lead, he will talk about things that he actually likes, that actually connects with her. That's completely fine. That's a really good situation when that happens. Start leading when you understand the common ground. I think that's pretty fucking obvious. And when you when they shut the fuck up, he feels less pressured and he understands like, oh, I can actually explore the things that I like, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice that? That the one date that was going great is the one that just shut the heck up.
More than that, did you also peep the thing? They talked about anatomy and they kept building on it, right?
Yep.
They didn't jump from topic to topic.
Naturally.
You just keep delving in and finding it. And you're saying, well, they both love anime, but it makes sense. You cannot love something and still be curious. You think I give a shit about animals? I don't give a fuck. But when I'm having a conversation with someone who loves them, I'll ask about why. What is it about them and animals? And then I'll maybe relate to some experience I have with animals. I'm not even going to front you. I've been terrified of animals ever since I was 4 because I was in a taxi cab and one was trying to bite me while I was trying to get out. And, you find ways to build on that conversation. That's what they're doing. That's it. That's it. That's what they call chemistry. So these dating coaches, the one in the middle is probably the best one out of the 3 because her advice on breathing, taking your time, impeccable, right?
Yep.
But the other 2, absolutely useless. Not only useless, let me rephrase. They're not useless.
Destructive.
They're a net negative. But I'm happy for the dude. I'm happy he made some progress. I'm happy he got better in the advice about being calm, breathing, having, taking the time for yourself to be comfortable in that date. Solid advice. Otherwise, I thought the other 2 coaches were terrible. But yeah, hey man, my offer stands if you ever want to hit us up. That's it.
You got to do just more stuff. That's it. You just have to go out there more. You got to put yourself out there and experience. You don't even know yourself in certain situations. You don't know yourself in dating situations. And you got to learn that. It's just a new experience that you got to go out there and experience.
Oh, look at that fucking music fade and shit. All right, there you go. That's pretty much, yeah. What is there to be said? That was tough to watch, right? Oh, well, these have to be fucking trolls, man. Because they always pin some dumbass comments, so I'm pretty sure people do it on purpose. Kind of takes away the magic, but saying you don't care about animals makes you disgusting people. People are decent human beings, don't proudly proclaim they don't like animals. Like, imagine saying, like, this has to be a troll. So we're not even gonna... Let me just see the comments, all this cool. I have real problems and they don't talk about like animals like y'all. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, people can choose whatever they want, like if they fuck with animals or not. Yeah, and yeah, you are talking like very privilegedly, like with a lot of privilege, because where he was born in Ethiopia, I think it was. Yeah, no, you're not gonna have very friendly animals. They're gonna be out there to fucking kill you. Yeah, because they're supremely educated in working class. What? It's not my problem if other people's parents don't possess enough intelligence to raise them properly. Did you understand that this third world country is not something that you can choose? Okay, no, it has to be a troll. That's why the West is the best. Yeah, that has to be a troll. No. Well, no, and now most likely there will be stupid. Look at this shit. So you're saying you have the ability to and the luxury to care about animals and choose not to? Yes. I don't think you read the fucking thing about him or heard him saying like, yeah, I was chased by fucking animals when I was in a cab at 4 years of age. Like that's not going to be a good experience. You're going to be traumatized. It's so fucking stupid for people to think that they have to like other people have to like what they like. Kind of still makes you a piece of shit for not being able to extend your empathy. What empathy? It's not about empathy. He's not telling like, oh yeah, just fuck up animals as much as you can. I don't care about them. He doesn't care about them. Stop acting like you live in a third world country because you don't. I mean, people are really dumb. The fact that the women know he has people on his ear is immediately a turn off. Yeah, like I said, man, it would be a boss move to just fucking pick that shit and be like, don't need that. For sure just did that for the cash. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Surprised Skippy wasn't a dating coach with this group of experts. Yeah, that would be pretty much it. But yeah, man. Walter White. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to stretch this too much because I still need this to process whatever the fuck, as I'm not recording. So I need the stream to process and shit. Thank you so much for anyone who joined. I wanted to make a quick video. Tomorrow I am going to stream the GTA 5 update because I'm very excited for that shit. But yeah, we'll see if I can release this still today. That'll be pretty good to do. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Again, we'll join Azo lately, but Pokito as well, Control Crazy, Loka. Probably forgetting other people, I'm sorry, but some on top of my head. I can actually check my Zach, Leo, there you go, Leo, that's who I was thinking about, and Monchi. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time, alright? Peace.